Gino was his first major challenger after he won the title from Buddy Rogers. So they had a bond. They absolutely had a bond with each other. And it's a shame that the friendship ended the way it did. But the things he was doing when he was young, even as a pro wrestler, people need to know about it. Like the amount of cardio and stamina that you needed. Like, he had 7 main events with Bruno at Madison Square Garden. And that's not even counting the other major markets they were in. And one of them, very famously, they used to talk about it a lot when both of them were alive. They had a 70-minute curfew draw at Madison Square Garden in 1960. Yeah, 1964, wow. I think it was 70 minutes. In those days, I think the Garden is still like this, maybe, but you'd get to 11 o'clock and all the Teamsters and everything would kick you out of the building, basically, or you had to pay them double time. And so the shows would all have curfews. And so if your match went to 11:01, they were stopping the match. And that's what happened with them. And I wrote about it in the book because it was so rare in that territory to do those kind of things. They didn't really do time limit draws. They don't do them today. In fact, to this day, I think it's one of the longest matches in WWE history, especially singles matches, not including Royal Rumbles and things like that. And they just went for an hour and 10 minutes. And I, unfortunately, no footage, horrible to think of, but I talked to people who were there. So I was able to get some feeling of what the match was like.
You know what's amazing about that? Those are 2 big dudes.
Yeah.
Bruno was a huge man, and Gorilla, even before he put on the weight, was a huge man. I mean, it's not like you got 2 lightweights that are going out there going an hour. Yeah. I mean, these are big guys that are going out there and going 60 plus minutes. That's pretty remarkable. Did he and Bruno get along well?
They did. And it's unfortunate of the friendship pretty much ended when Bruno walked away from the company. They just, not that there was personal animosity, but they just never really spoke again. I think they might have occasionally talked here and there, but it was one of those things where Bruno was now the enemy of the company. So we shouldn't really talk to him. I remember when Arnie Skolin died, I interviewed Bruno for an obituary, and he told me for a fact that he would sometimes call some of those guys like Freddie Blassie and Arnie, and they would apologize to him like, I love you, Bruno, but I'm not supposed to talk to you and I don't want to get in any kind of trouble. And so I'm sure there was some of that, but in the early years, they loved each other. I mean, even talking to Maureen and them, they seemed to be like, well, they were both Italian, even though Bruno was from Italy and, Gino was Italian American, but they had a shared heritage and they came up together. Bruno became a star a little bit earlier than Gino had, and he was already the world champion when Gino was kind of unproven. But Gino was his first major challenger after he won the title from Buddy Rogers. So they had a bond. They absolutely had a bond with each other. And it's a shame that the friendship ended the way it did.